All rise.
Choose your character.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Sportsroom Courtroom. We got some great content coming for y'all. And today's topic is Jayson Tatum a superstar? Let's get to it. All right, Shannon, it's on you. 2 minutes.
All right. So my opening statement, I'm in support of Jayson Tatum being a superstar. But when we say the word superstar, what exactly does it mean? Because there's really no clear definition. If you look at the way previous superstars and current superstars are treated, followed, and criticized, you definitely have to throw Jayson Tatum into that category. Not only that, Jayson Tatum is a guy you build a team around. And that's what every team is trying to do at this point in time when they have a superstar on their team. So this guy went from averaging 13.9 points a game to now being a three-level threat, averaging 26.6 points a game. That is a 22% increase every single year. So I don't know how you don't see this guy's coming into the superstar stardom type of situation. He's shooting 45% from the field, 35% from three. He's an NBA all-first team candidate, and well, he's on the team. He's all NBA third team in his third year in the league, and he is a top small forward in the league, probably top three, I would say. So that further proves my point on why he's a superstar. But Paul, I'm gonna let you have the floor and figure this out because I don't know what you're talking about.
Guys, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. This is my opening statement. I am opposing to Jayson Tatum being a superstar, and this is why. Jayson Tatum is only 24 years old. He has the ability to be a top 5 player in this league, but not yet. There's still things that he has to do, he has to prove, he has to show in order for him to be considered a superstar along with guys like Giannis, LeBron, and other bona fide, solidified superstars. Not only does he have to consistently play well through the year, but also in the playoffs. He can't shy away from moments. He can't not be clutch. I didn't say he had to win a championship in his first finals appearance. He just had to show up. And he also had to not be the reason why they lose. You also have to have a heroic performance at least multiple times in a very crucial situation. And you can't let a player that you think is better, that you think you're better than, outplay you the whole series. He's gotten up to the point to where he's a superstar. I mean, he's an all-star, but he's right at the cusp of being a superstar, and certain things that he has to do will prepare him to that next level. You look at guys like Kobe Bryant and LeBron. They didn't have their best first finals appearance, but they're not propped up by the number one defense for a top 7 defense 3 out of his 4 years. That means he has more things to prop himself on. If he's not having a bad game, he still has a supporting cast enough to keep him in the game to where he can show up at the end. But he still doesn't do that. And on top of that, there's multiple reasons why, in terms of the eye test of why he's not a superstar yet, being able to take over a game and not shy away from the moment. Those type of things, when you are able to do that, people are going to look at you and say, he's not scared of the moment. He's a superstar because of that reason. And I think that is the reason why he's not. He has the ability to get there because he's, like I say, he's only 24 years old. But as of right now, he just showed you when the playoffs get deeper and teams actually study on you and your weaknesses are exploited, you have to come back the next year and show that you had those weaknesses strengthened and play at the same level or better, and then we'll consider you a superstar. But as of right now, no, and that's totally fine because he's only 24.
Both good points from Shannon and Paul on whether or not Jayson Tatum is a superstar, but let's go into the rebuttals.
All right. So Paul's talking about shying away from big moments. I just totally disagree. First of all, in Jayson Tatum's first playoff appearance, let's not forget that this man had one of the best playoff series that he's ever done, especially against the number 1 player in the NBA and in the world, honestly, the greatest player of all time, LeBron James. Second of all, obviously, I know you want to talk about, LeBron, Kobe, you want to highlight, they didn't have great stats in their first appearance. But that's the thing. When you're becoming a superstar, or even if you are a superstar, which Jayson Tatum is at this point in time, we were considering LeBron and Kobe superstars at that point in time. LeBron's average in his first finals appearance, 22 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 5.8 turnovers, shooting 35% from the field and 20% from three. Kobe Bryant, 15.6 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game, shooting 36% from the field and 20% from three. Jayson Tatum, in his first NBA Finals appearance, 21 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 7 assists, 36% from the field, and 45% from three. The numbers are there. He's in the same categories as both of them. And he's honestly is higher than Kobe, and both of them were considered superstars at that point in time. So for you to say Jayson Tatum isn't a superstar and you're not going to throw him into that conversation at this point in time is ridiculous, because the kid is a superstar. He's showing why he's a superstar. And I didn't even talk about his whole playoff appearance because you haven't been talking about that. No, I'm out of time, but I'm throwing out the numbers. What's
that little graphic where that guy's dressed up like Michael Jordan? You think he's him? Yeah, that's you. Because I'm just screaming on the inside right now. Like, what are you talking about? You want to bring up stats, right? First of all, LeBron was a superstar before he even got in the league, based off exposure and expectation. There were still answers for Kobe as well, but Kobe was also highly sought in high school. These guys were superstars. These guys were expected to be great in high school already. Jayson Tatum was drafted number 2 overall from Duke. You have expectations, but at the same time, you still have to be able to go through certain things throughout your duration of being an NBA player to solidify yourself as a superstar. He has gone to the playoffs multiple times, deep runs with great defensive teams, but every time he gets bounced, it's because of the same thing: terrible shot selection, terrible turnovers, and shying away from the moment.
Quick, if you can stop the clock. They have labeled him as a great playmaker, even with the turnovers. That's all I got to say.
I don't even know, like, who is they, first of all? And like you, since you love stats, the stats don't lie. He has had the most turnovers in NBA playoff history. Yes, he has the most points. Yes, he has the most assists, but that is the issue. When you're polarizing, when you're swaying both sides like that, you're too inconsistent. I would like him to still have those high percentage, still have those high points and assists, but way less turnovers, because those turnovers are dictators on how you win the game. And he has lost plenty games this series because of those turnovers.
Some good rebuttal points from both sides. Now we're going to get into the cross-examination. Shannon, you have the floor.
All right, Paul, take the stand, man, because this is about time. So, Paul, you said that KD, you brought up KD being the guy, oh, he's a superstar because he averaged 30. You know, Steph Curry didn't average 30 in his finals appearance, right? His first ever finals appearance. So he wasn't a superstar at that point in time?
He won MVP.
In his first finals appearance, Stephen Curry won MVP in his first finals appearance.
He won MVP that year. That's
finals MVP is what I'm asking. Finals MVP?
When you're a superstar in the regular, when you're an MVP in the regular season,
thank you.
You're going to already be considered.
Next question. All NBA first team isn't enough proof to say that he's a superstar or one of the top players in the league. How can you be a top player in the league but not a superstar?
DeAndre Jordan won. He was all player. He was first team all something. He was a first team player.
Right, first team all. You don't even know. All right.
That doesn't solidify anything.
Okay. All right. Let's say this. Okay. How many superstars in the NBA? If you had to say, give me a number. Go ahead, throw that out.
Okay. I think the word superstar has been thrown around.
I just want a number, buddy.
Well, because of the potential. But there's only about 10 to 12 superstars.
Interesting. Okay. Let's go with, does being a top 3 small forward in the league mean anything to you at all?
How will you consider him a top 3 small forward? He's not top 3.
The stats and the record in terms of winning and leading the team. What are you talking about?
No, he's not top 3.
Give me 2 guys. Give me 3 guys better than him.
He's better than Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi hasn't played in a year, so out of the picture. Give me another guy.
He's better than Kevin Durant.
After the season, I'd say he had a great season. This season, he had a better season.
Is he better than LeBron James?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, Shannon. You played basketball, right?
I did.
You played at the Division II level at the illustrious Clark-Atlanta University.
I did.
You have would you like to say you have a competitive mindset?
I would say so, yes.
So let me ask you this. If before you get to the final game at the SIAC championship, this guy has been said to be the player of the year, right? The SIAC player of the year.
Damn, you're gonna use
When
the whole time for this. Okay, go ahead.
He's going, if he averages 35% from the field, 2 for 16 from 3, with 51 field goal attempts and 9 turnovers in the fourth quarter in those games, are you going to consider him a best player? Are you going to consider him one of the top players when
He
those
shot
games
that
matter
much
in the
and he
tournament?
shot that much in one game or in the whole?
No, in the fourth, throughout the whole duration of the fourth. Like those fourth quarters.
I mean, if the team wins and he's the leader and he's doing other things like playmaking, which Jayson Tatum has done, I mean, would I consider him? What's the question? Are you looking for Finals MVP or a superstar? Because this is a completely different conversation.
Are you going to consider him? Are you going to consider him a guy that's a superstar level? If he won
SIAC Player of the Year or if he won Player of the Year before Eastern Conference MVP, whatever you want to say, he's a superstar.
I'm saying they're calling him that before he even got it. That's my point. Are you going to consider him that after watching him do that?
Time.
I don't even know how to answer that. I can't answer that.
It's time for a little intermission, a little recess. This episode is sponsored by Tough Guy Streetwear. You can cop high quality pieces, t-shirts in the future off of toughguyplanet.com, and we'll be back shortly.
Shannon, you saying that Jayson Tatum is better than Kevin Durant is insane, bro.
Yeah, this going like the
I agree.
It's going like the
I agree.
It's going
insane.
I agree.
I said this season, off of this season alone.
Is this season rookie year or crazy?
Let me ask. Hold on, y'all getting distracted by the names.
You lucky
Y'all getting
I'm not
distracted by the names.
Not career.
Bring up the stats. Did nothing better.
I don't know what. Wait, hold on. I got something for that. Everybody just shut up. I got something for that. I have
He had a better
numbers.
season,
Okay.
Order in the court.
We're not even bang the gavel.
Right.
Yeah.
My only point.
We can't be having visitors.
That's the
You're gonna be held in contempt.
Yeah, but I just want to point out Jayson Tatum's assists throughout the entire playoffs: 16 assists, 10 assists, 12 assists. I ain't never seen Kevin Durant do that. That's all I'm saying.
Most turnovers in the playoffs.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Now we got the last rebuttal. Shannon, you want to start your last rebuttal?
Yes, sir. So Paul's biggest thing is talking about Jayson Tatum disappearing in big moments. But let's go back to LeBron James. Come on, man. LeBron did at one point too, and that's the reason why he's received criticism for not being a closer, and he was unsuperstar-like. But there was no denying that he was a superstar at that point in time. He just had something to work on. It's just growing pains, and that's exactly what Jayson Tatum is going through. The guy's a superstar. Now, I said it earlier in the episode, but I ran out of time. Let's talk about his numbers and highlights in the playoffs all together this past year. 31 points in game 1, 40 points in game 3, 29 in game 4. Against the defending champs, the Milwaukee Bucks, he had 21 game 1, 29 in game 2, 40 in game 4, 46 in game 5, 34 in game 6, and in game 7, he had 23. And against Miami, he had 29 in game 1, 27 in game 2, 31 game 3. Game 6, he had 30, and game 7, he had 26 again. The NBA Finals, obviously, we all saw what happened. He didn't have a great finals, but he did average 21 points, 6 rebounds a game, and 7 assists. You guys want to talk about, he has so many turnovers. He had 3.8 turnovers. That's actually the second to lowest that he averaged the whole playoffs. So let's talk about that. That's really all I got to say. I'm going to swing it back over to you.
When it comes to Jayson Tatum taking the next step, he has to be able to show that he can have a big-time game at the highest stage. He's done that multiple times in this upcoming playoffs, but no one is going to care if you don't show up at the biggest stage. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's just the reality of sports. Jayson Tatum shot 5 for 21 in the fourth quarter this finals. Before even the finals, let's go here. Back to my previous stat. During the Bucks series, according to StatMuse, Jayson Tatum in the clutch this season, 35.5% from the field, 2 for 16 from the 3, 9 turnovers. On top of that, when you watch the game, there's certain things that he's doing that's limiting him. He's not going left. As soon as he goes right, he's going to flail his arms out and want a call. Just be aggressive. Superstars like that, superstars actually go get a bucket when it's time instead of fishing for the foul. That's his next step. And speaking of LeBron was already considered a superstar, but was contending for GOAT status at that time.
Closing statement, Shannon.
So back to what I said before, Jayson Tatum is a superstar. This is not a conversation about the NBA Finals. If you want to talk about the overall playoffs, the guy had a great run to the NBA Finals, a deep playoff run, and they lost. Yeah, it happens. He didn't play well in the finals, but it's not about the finals. The guy averaged 25.6 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, and 6 assists, shooting 42% from the field and 39% from three. And if you want to take it there, talking about his superstardom, the previous year, he averaged 30.6 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, and 4 assists, shooting 44% from the field and 38.9% from three. So you can see the consistency is there. So I don't want to hear the conversation about, oh, he's inconsistent, he's turning the ball over too many times. Look, at the end of the day, this is a conversation about his superstardom and his growth as a player. The guy is a superstar. We're not focused on the NBA Finals. Things happen in big moments. We talked about LeBron. We talked about Kobe, talking about, oh, LeBron was already a superstar at that point. He was trying to get to GOAT status. He didn't even win one championship at that point in time, Paul. So let's not talk about that. That makes no sense. It's absolutely no sense. But at the end of the day, all I'm going to say is Jayson Tatum is a superstar. The kid is a 3-time All-NBA All-Star. He's just got his first team All-NBA, and he's third-team All-NBA in his third season. He's a top 3 small forward in the league. And I just want to let you know that I definitely won this when this is over.
That was
Paul?
absolutely terrible. All right.
Time for your closing statement.
Jayson Tatum is not a superstar yet. You have to play like the best player on your team every time, or at least more consistently than he has. Some games, he'll be the third or fourth best player on his team in certain playoff games. We've seen this. Not saying, look, if you're a superstar, that can happen a couple times, but not as many times as that has happened as we've seen, not in pivotal games. It also plays a part in how good his teams are. You shouldn't be struggling this bad when you have a great team like that. Like I said, he's had 3 out of his 4 seasons, a top 7 defense. Not supposed to happen. That's the type of duality that you don't need to be a superstar. You can't have both ends of the spectrum and be that polarizing. You have to in order to solidify yourself as a superstar, you have to sway one way, not both ways. Now, the silver lining is that he's just 24 and he has a nice supporting cast, but now he has to be able to show that over time he can be able to come back to this moment and fix those weaknesses that was exploited in his previous playoffs. Once he does that and comes back to next season, he's going to be able to be considered a superstar because we've seen the growth. We've seen his bounce back. On top of that, he didn't even consider himself a superstar. When they asked the question, he was like, "You said I was a superstar." I didn't say that. You can't run away from that.
My opinion on the topic at hand, I don't think Jayson Tatum is a superstar, but I'm going to be judging this debate based off of the facts that you guys presented me and who I think won the debate. So going on opening statement, I thought Shannon had a very strong opening statement, so giving the facts and very specific facts, not just, he had over 100 or whatever, like very specific, down to the decimal point. I really like that. Strength of first rebuttal. I thought that Paul did a great job on the first rebuttal, coming back at all the points that Shannon made. Shannon gave a lot of facts in his opening statement. So to hear Paul come back at each of those facts that he gave was very good, I think, for Paul's side of the argument. Cross-examination. I thought both of you did a great job on cross-examination. I like the intensity of the debate and how you guys answered each question that each other was asking. And you went back at each other's points. Very, very strong. So that was good. Strength of second rebuttal. I thought Shannon did a great job on strength and rebuttal. He just kept giving out facts that, counter-argued Paul's points that he was making throughout the entire debate thus far. Closing statement. I thought you guys both had good closing statements. You guys kept your closing statements pretty similar to how you were in the to your points in the opening statement. So there really wasn't much difference there. And then obviously I said use of facts was great. Presentation style or great from Shannon. Presentation style. I like Paul's background, so but Shannon did a good job going through each point, and so did Paul. So that's definitely a tough category to judge. But both you guys were organized. Both you guys were clear. Honestly, going through all of these, like I already have my point made up just from how it went. Shannon, I'm gonna say you won the debate and supported the most facts. Paul, I felt like you ran out of time, and I think you had more ammo to give. And I do agree that Jayson Tatum is not a superstar yet, especially after what he showed in the finals. But I do think Shannon won the debate, saying that he was a superstar.
All right. Like Jordan said, I'm gonna try and be impartial. I do have my own opinion. I had my own opinion as soon as I saw the topic. I do think that Jayson Tatum is a bona fide superstar. I think he's a top 10 player in the league. However, my opinion is based on the stats and the facts that you guys provided, and being able to persuade me. So my thoughts on this is like strictly, I'm not offering any of my own opinion in this. That being said, opening statements, Paul did a great job, threw some humor in there, but I got to go with Shannon on the opening statement. Pretty persuasive. Like I said, I was trying to be impartial and not give my own opinion, but I think Shannon set his, template up to plug in stats and other facts for the rest of the debate. So I got Shannon taking the opening statement. However, Paul countered that very well. He had a really good first rebuttal. I got Paul taking the first rebuttal. I think he countered Shannon's facts pretty well. And the cross-examination, I really think the main thing I noticed with this, I got Shannon winning that as well. Paul was stuck for a good second. I wasn't sure if he froze, but he didn't really know how to counter it immediately. So I got Shannon winning that category. After the intermission, the closing, I like Paul. I did like Paul's closing statement. The fact that he said he doesn't think that Jayson Tatum is a superstar yet proves that he wasn't just trying to, argue. He was really making a valid point, and that's understandable. I can understand how, especially after the finals appearance and his performance, why someone would say that, coupled with some of the other facts that he was stating. I think that I got Paul taking the closing argument. And I definitely have Shannon taking the use of facts and examples better. Some of the stats that he named. I think Paul made some great points throughout the debate that I think I would have been persuaded more if there were some stats coupled with the points that Paul made. So overall, I do have Shannon taking it by a little bit, strictly based on argument style, or more so debate style. I think Paul was more, arguing a little more than debating, but he did have some great points and probably would have persuaded me if you provide a little more stats and like verifiable facts. So that's my take on it.
Both sides did a great job. But if we're going strictly off of the debate, the opening statement, I got Shannon taking. Just gave a lot of information, a lot of stats, just a lot of reasons why he is a superstar. So I got him taking that. But I got Paul taking the first rebuttal. I think he, like Elijah said, I think he counteracted Shannon's arguments. It actually had me thinking that Shannon Tatum isn't a superstar, and I do believe that he is a superstar. So the first rebuttal Paul definitely had. Shannon came back on the cross-examination and the second rebuttal though pretty strongly. So I got him winning those next two rounds. And then I got Paul with the closing statements. I got Shannon winning the use of facts, but I have Paul winning the presentation style and the haymakers. And then Shannon, I got you with the organization.
So who are you taking to the debate, Caleb?
My bad. I got Shannon winning. I got Shannon with the clean sweep.
Yeah, absolutely swept.
Of the Sportsroom Courtroom. I'd like to congratulate winner. Shannon, have any words you want to say? Go ahead and say it.
That I won. I'm not being a sore loser, but I know I won.